So while tourism is still the number one industry on Vancouver Island, Southern Vancouver Island, at least that's what we're told by some sector managers, Peninsula also has manufacturing and many other kinds of industry operations that buy and sell with American customers. So can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think the challenge is that we're going to have to learn to cope, just like we did in the pandemic in 2021, right? Like, where is our supply chain coming from? Where are those things? I think it's a good time for business owners to take a look at where are they selling and where could they sell instead? Like, look for new opportunities as we're fairly uncertain with what's happening across the border on the southern border. And also looking for new opportunities for where they're sourcing their goods from. I was talking to one business who buys things from an American supplier, but those things are made elsewhere in the world and shipped in through the US because they're buying in bulk and then shipped up to Canada. So we had a conversation about, well, can you go around those distribution supply chains? Can you contact the manufacturers and see if there's another supplier in Canada you can get it from? Because at the end of the day, if that does get tariffed, and we still don't know if they still haven't said here's how the tariffs are going to be implemented. Is it on raw goods? Is it on finished goods? Is it on anything? And so because we don't know that, I think it's a great opportunity to start calling around. And one company I was talking to has their restaurant hospitality business, and they have a supplier that they use is Pepsi. So Pepsi is their supplier of all their stuff. And the question was, well, if Pepsi's an American company, am I going to get levied on, is the cost of my pop on my thing going to go up 25%? That's a big deal for a hospitality company. And so maybe it will. So let's reach out to Pepsi, reach out to your suppliers and go, hey, if your price goes up, what do I have to do? Like, do I, because often you're tied into those contracts. So you can't use other suppliers. You can only use them in your place. So there's lots of weird little things like that people are going to have to start looking, take a hard look at where are my supplies coming from and where are my products going. And I
You
think it's
know,
a
we've
great time to separate that and start looking outside of Canada and outside of the US for sales.
We've been going through a similar situation, I guess you could say, with the pandemic and businesses trying to sort out how they could stay afloat with all of the problems went into that. Some businesses have recovered to a degree. Others
Yeah.
went under because of it. Um,
Yeah.
it's not very long ago we had the pandemic crisis. Having this crisis come on the heels of it, are you worried for your members? Are you worried for businesses in BC? Can they cope with this if this is going to be a prolonged trade war?
I think if people start acting quickly, I think if we wait to see what comes of the rhetoric, it might be too late for some. I think people need to get on the bandwagon and start looking for those new suppliers and looking for those new products and looking for those new sources to sell their products like right now. Because it won't be a bad thing. Because let's say the US stuff doesn't happen. Now you've just got a bigger client base with a more healthy supply chain. So all of those things are not going to leave you. If you start now, they're not going to leave you in a bad place. I think that the way that some things are going to show up here is things are just going to get more expensive because there are still some things that you can't replace quickly in your supply chain or can't replace a product that you might have on your shelf that people love to buy. Or so there's going to be some challenges that people are going to face. And so I'm not fearful for our members, but I definitely want to encourage our members to be thinking outside the box, looking for new opportunity, and really sort of stretching out where are they sourcing the materials from, their raw materials,
that's a
where are
great
they.
segue for me. A great segue for me. Both Robin and I have come from the chamber ecosystem. We were both chairs of Downtown Victoria Chamber many years ago, and we're strong believers in advocacy and representing business interests. Really, really believed in that. I understand that the South Island Prosperity Organization, that's the Victoria Economic Development Organization, has set up a committee of business people to work on strategies to help local business get through any tariff outfall. I also understand the Peninsula Chamber is doing something similar. What is your call to action here? How can local business leaders make a difference? What can they do to feel like they're making an impact on a world that seems to be falling apart in front of us?
Yeah, I mean, and that's a great question. I think that the one thing we can do locally is band together. We can start looking for group supply chain purchases that we could maybe like put together a trade association that can, or work with the chamber to try and find deals for multiple customers so we can do bulk ordering on some things. Or finding, working with the trade partners in the BC government and the Canadian government to find new opportunities for trade. I think that we have to band together as a group instead of kind of going it on our own, because that's where the opportunities are going to lie that could really impact bigger companies, especially in purchasing products and supplies and raw goods and things like that.